Well, hello everybody, it's BugEater64, and today, as you can see, I'm going to be flying my DC-3 in my virtual airline Air America Duet, which is primarily, we don't do passengers, we just do cargo right now. But today I'm going to show you how we go about getting commodities in in Air Hauler 2. Okay, well, apparently I have not had enough coffee yet today. We're going to work on that in a little bit. So let's get to it and I'll show you how we do this. All right. See you in the sim. All right, everybody, it's BugEater64 again, and here we are in Air Hauler 2. And as you can see, that is my little setup there for my company logo. So we're going to load my company, and from there we're going to start looking at commodities, because we're going to be flying some today, and I found that that's where I make my biggest money for single flights. I've got my AI pilots flying around doing jobs, and their jobs are averaging between $50,000 and $60,000 a run. So we're definitely making some money, but I can make over $100,000 usually with commodity runs. So with that, let's get inside here, and my good friend Dion Soul, who runs Solus Wings, another virtual airline, is working on some flights of his own right now in Air Hauler 2, and you may hear him being grumbling and basically just all around unhappy if he runs into a problem. But that's what we're here for. I'm here to calm his being and make him a happy person. But until then, let's get into my company. So we'll let this load up here. And here's my office, and you can see we're at a pretty big airport out here. Our home base is actually KWJF. My DC-3 right now is sitting at Van Nuys, California. And so let's get to the overview map and click on KVNY, which is Van Nuys in California, just a little bit north of Los Angeles, and click on the commodities. And as you can see on the map here, right now the commodities automatically, the top one is beef, selling at $87 a unit. If you look at the map, everything's red. That means if we bought beef, we couldn't deliver it to any of these locations because we wouldn't make any money. We'd actually lose money. So let's start at potatoes, way at the bottom, only $26 a unit. Okay, there's a couple places. Long Beach, we could make $8, and that's about the best. But I'm going to look at a couple other things. Medicines is usually good. There's only one place in Riverside that we would make any kind of money. But earlier I was looking at machine parts. All right, here we go, and this is why where I'm at in Van Nuys is probably only about 40 plus miles down to Long Beach, where we would buy the machine part at $40 a unit. In Long Beach, they'll purchase it for $62. That's a $22 improvement on what we're selling. So we can make a $22 profit. Now if I go down, let's bring up my calculator here because it's easier than doing it in my head. Now my DC-3, I can carry 5,200 pounds, and if I do that times the $22, that would equal a profit of $114,000. So yeah, that's well worth it. I think that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to come down here to the bottom left of the screen where my commodities, and it says buy. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to go up to the quantity, and let me highlight that. So 5,200. Price is going to be 208,000, but we're going to make 114,000 more than that when we sell them. And we're going to buy that. We're going to deliver it to our DC3. Bingo. So we now have those commodities. If I go to my fleet section, and you can see I've got 5 aircraft, and I click on my DC3, it shows that I have 5,200 pounds of cargo on board. I can now fly this mission and make money. And we're going to go ahead and do that very shortly. Well, okay, let's get this thing started here. And what we're going to do now is go from KVNY, Van Nuys, to KLGB, Long Beach. And that's another short flight. And once we get there, we will make $114,000. So we're doing all just fine. Let's get in the cockpit here and get this thing started. Let's see. First, I've got my DC3 with 5,200 pounds of cargo, and I'm going to tell Air Hauler 2 that I'm going to fly it myself, which is fine. First, take just a little swig of coffee. Lifeblood. All right, so let's tell them I'm gonna fly it myself, and we're going to KLGB. So we're going to use selected there. And as we say, machined parts, 5,200 pounds at Van Nuys. Well within our weight. Fuel on board, we have enough for 630 nautical miles. So we're not going to change anything there. I just keep flying until it gets low enough to put fuel in it. So that's all looking good. And it's a big 29-mile flight. Wow. Okay. This won't take long. All right, we're going to accept the route. And it says, please start manually, because I have this set on network mode. And press OK in the cockpit when I'm at KVNY, which I am. Load the aircraft with 5,370 pounds. And fuel. Okay, so everything's good there. I'm in the cockpit. We are ready to go. What we're waiting for is wait till this turns green. All right, we are set to go. Air Hauler 2 flight is tracking. So let's go to X-plane. In the cockpit. And let's get rid of the tired old fat man, and we are in the cockpit. All right, so we are ready to go. Let's get this bird up and running and get on our way for our huge, historic 29 nautical mile flight from Van Nuys to Long Beach. Ooh, how exciting. So, first things first, battery on, beacon on, fuel pumps on, and go down here and get the props and set up that and put the fuel on main. Crack the throttle. Let's look over here and let's start engine. Okay, so that's our 15. what we need to do, usually in a DC3, when you're doing engine startup, you rotate the prop about 15 times. Then you hit the start button, you flip it down, and you would hit the prime. In this particular version, all you need to do is basically hit the prime with the fuel pumps on, and then you would hit one of these buttons. But the way I've got it set up, I've got it on my HOTAS, and it starts right up. Okay, and we can bring this back a little bit, let it idle. P, looking nine there, and let's start engine number 1. Okay, so we've got the engine started. Let's see here. It looks like I was wondering what that was. The sim parked me on top of another airplane. Ain't that wonderful? Thought it looked kind of funny.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we welcome Dion Soul from Solus Wings to our little adventure. Hey Dion, how you doing?
Pretty good, sir. I'm in my own flight with our two-way ship-to-ship communications, and I'm flying down here from San Diego County back up to Los Angeles County in air hauler as well.
Excellent. So we'll get things turned on here. Taxi lights, nav lights, pitot heat, generators. Very good. Alright, taxi lights are on. Now let's go ahead and get our flight plan in our GTN 750. So KLGB, we'll activate that log. And we are set to go. So let's go ahead and roll out. Get that to max. Alrighty. Let's take a look at airport. So we're going to make a left turn out here and come right down to the runway. And we can do this and actually watch. Brake is off. And Air Hauler 2 is telling us to taxi for takeoff. And 16 right is actually, with the way the wind is going, that's a good choice for takeoff. So and we are using active sky, so
approaching 16 right.
okay, let's get the
On runway 16, right.
Okay, so we can get landing lights on, taxi lights off. And let's go ahead and run things up. Full RPMs on the flights. And we have liftoff. Positive rate, gear coming up. And tells us to fly the route and go to where our destination. So we make a left turn here. And at this point we can go ahead and activate the autopilot, nav. And bring back the RPMs to about 24. RPMs to about 36. And we are looking good. So while that's all happening, it's time for another bit of coffee. And we're just over 2,000 feet, so I'm just gonna level this off. And the congested Southern California freeway system, and yeah, lots of people living there. .24.5 miles to go. And this should just tell me this is, yeah. Alrighty. We are looking good. And we're heading into the Los Angeles area. And let's do this. Take a look at Long Beach. Okay. So we've got 08, 26, 12, and 30. Very good. $19 miles to go. So we are flying, heading for Long Beach, and yeah. See how we do on the landing, because that's always fun for people to see. And Dion, he's still moving along with his flight. So we got two Air Hauler 2 birds in the air in Southern California.
Yes, sir.
But hopefully we won't run into anybody. That would be a bad day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, it would. Stay quite away. I'm practicing my social distancing.
I knew there was a reason. Plus, you're at probably higher altitude than I am. I'm only at 2,100 feet on this short flight with about 15.5 miles to go.
Yeah, I'm at 10,500 feet. I'm doing 160 knots indicated, 193 over the ground. But I'm coming up to Escondido, California right now, as I'm about ready to turn north as a flight plan to continue heading towards back to home base, KWJF, slowly.
Understood.
So I still got a good 30 minutes or so, 30, 35 minutes, something like that.
I know the orthos sure make this Los Angeles basin look good.
For sure, on my end too.
Alright, let's do this. ATIS is 127.75. One, 2,775. Enter. All right, so we've got altimeter 2, 9er, runway 30 or 26 right. All right, okay, so arrival 30 or 26 right. All right. Two six right, 30. Either one's good for us. And it doesn't take a lot of room for the DC-3 to have to. Okay, 7.7 miles. And there we are. So, with that, I'm going to go ahead and take control of the airplane. Aircraft is mine. And we got about 5 miles, 5.5 miles to go. And with that, landing gear coming down. And we've got some wind. Aircraft kind of moving around more than I expected. Breezy, breezy day.
Flaps. Flaps.
I already got flaps. Looks like we're just a little bit high, but not bad. Looks like we got one red right now.
Approaching. 1, 2.
Really? Oh well. A little bit high. White, one red, but this being a DC-3, she doesn't take a lot of runway to slow down on, so we're just fine. And we are down. clean up the aircraft. Yeah, we'll
Approaching.
clear the run.
6 left.
Yeah, that's the one I was supposed to land on. Oh well. Okay, so we have landed safely. Everything's good. Let's go to Alt Tab. And here we are. So we have landed. Take cargo. We'll sell it. Commodity sold. So that is good. And finish our monitoring. Smooth. Okay, very good. Good landing. All right, so we go to company finances. We now have 206 million, which is always good. And we made 300 and let's see, we bought 208 we bought the machine parts for, and we just sold them for 322. So let's double check. So 208,000.00. All right, and clear. That's dumb. Sorry, I'm dumb. 322 400.00 subtract 208,000.00 equals $114,400. I'll take it for our extremely long flight. So with that, that's how we do commodities. What can I say? I can have my AI fly flights that are, you know, longer than that, and they may make, you know, half that amount. Here I'm flying, you know, 30 miles, and I'm making over $100,000. So that's why I like the commodities for flying myself. And what can I say? Just a lot of fun, little short flights, no big deal, and it's fun to be able to pick out the commodities that I can get the best dollar for close by, and that's why I like it so much. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this flight. Glad you came along for the ride. I always enjoy having people with me. And until next time, Bug Eater 64 is saying to everybody, be safe, and as always, safe flying.